Hey everyone, how's it going on? So in the last video, I covered about the CRUD operations. We have seen about the SQL commands like insert, select, update, and delete. So today we'll be looking upon concepts on DDL, DML, and DQL. So let's dive into these topics. So DDL stands for Data Definition Language, DML stands for Data Manipulation Language, DQL stands for Data Query Language. So these three languages are nothing but just categorizing the SQL commands into different languages. And whereas when you come under data manipulation language, we have already seen few commands like SQL commands like insert, select, update, delete commands. So they come under data manipulation language and data query language. I'll let you know the difference between the manipulation and the definition. So any operations that is done on the table, like whenever you're doing operations on outside the table, it comes at a data definition language. Anything that deals with the schema of the database, I mean the structure of the table. So whenever you want to add a particular extra column on the table, or if you wanted to change the name of the column name, I mean within the table, or if you wanted to modify any data type of the column name, I mean the particular column. So those operations come under data definition language. Whereas data manipulation language is something like which deals with inside the table. So this is outside the table. I mean whenever I talk about outside the table, it is like on the table. The manipulation language is in the table, within inside the table. So if you wanted to insert a record inside the table, or if you wanted to update the elements in the table, or delete the records from the table, so those commands and those SQL commands, they come under data manipulation language. Query language is something like you're trying to query the data from the database. So whenever you wanted to query a data, I mean whenever you wanted to read a particular record from the table, use a select statement. So that's a solo SQL command that comes under query language. We'll be deeply focusing on the definition language. We'll be focusing on how to add a particular column, how to drop a column, or how to modify particular data type of a column, and how to rename the column name as well. We'll be looking into it. So the first thing is to turn on the server. I have turned on the server. So next thing would be connecting the server. So I've connected to my server. So you have to use your particular database. I'm gonna use the database which I've already created. I have a table called employees1. I have already added the contents in those tables. I'll try to view the contents from those table. The table name is called as employees1. So here is it. So these are the data that's been already added in this table called employees1. So within this table, we'll try to see the data definition language. That's nothing but we'll try to add a particular column, and we'll try to drop those column, and we also will try to change a particular data type of any of the column, and we also will try to rename a particular column. Okay. So first, the first keyword for that command is the alter, followed by table and table name. In our case, the table name is employees1, followed by this. So here you have to specify what operation you're going to do. I'm going to add a particular column, so I'll try to use keyword called add. So what column name we'll add? We'll try to add a column name called occupation. This data type would be varchar. So you could see I used this particular SQL command where alter table is the keyword, and it's followed by our table name, and then we'll be specifying what operation you're doing with the alter command. I'm trying to add a particular column called as occupation. Data type is varchar. So the query has been accepted. Let's try to view the table now. You could see there's a particular extra column that's been added called as occupation. Right now the current values are null. Let's try to insert a dummy record. I'm just giving a normal, I'm just giving a random values here. Here in the occupation, I'll give it as SQL developer. Now if you try to view the table, you could see this particular data has been added in this particular column now. Now let's try to remove this column. We'll try to drop this column. It's the same command, it's the same syntax, but you have to, instead of add, you're going to be using drop. You could remove this data type. You could just specify the column name. So it's actually the same command, similar command, order table followed by the table name called as employees1 in our case, and we have to specify what operation you're going to do. I'm going to drop particular column from the table that's called as occupation. So let's try to view it now. You could see the column is disappeared, so it's actually been dropped. So let's try to modify a particular data type of a column. Before that, we'll try to describe, we'll see the description of the table. So this is the description of the table. This particular column salary is int. We'll try to change this column's data type to float. So for that, it's going to be the similar command, alter table followed by our table name. Over here you have to specify what operation you're going to do. I'm going to modify column name called as salary to a data type called float. Yep. The query has been accepted. We'll try to get the description. So now you could see previously it was integer data type. Here now it's changed to float. So this is how we modify the data type of a particular column using a modify command within alter command. So let's now try to change or rename the name of a particular column. Now I'll try to change the salary to income. Again, it would be almost similar, like alter table followed by the table name, and then specify the command what you're going to do. I'm going to change from salary to income. I have to specify the data type as well. I'm going to specify as int. So here we can also change the data type using the change command, similar to the modify command. In modify, we just only change the data type, but whereas with change, we are also able to change the name of the column. I'm changing from salary to income. The query has been accepted. You could see from salary it is changed to income. We'll try to view the data. So these topics will be explained in the next video. At that time, I'll also explain how to add a constraint and how to remove a constraint on the table with respect to definition language. So we have seen how to add column, drop column, modify, and also rename. That's nothing but using change command. Whereas in data manipulation, you're going to use insert, update, delete. There's nothing but inserting the record, updating the record, deleting the record. But here it all deals with the columns. Data query language, it's nothing but you're querying the data using the select command. So that's all about DDL, DML and DQL. We have two more called as DCL and TCL. They are not that important though. DCL is nothing but data control language. So if you wanted to allow particular users like certain users who could modify or who could use the database, or you could grant permission to them, or you could revoke the permission. That's all about the control language. Stay tuned. In the next video I'll be explaining about the constraints and also the aggregate functions, followed by order by and group by clauses as well. Yep. So thank you.